we go. All right. Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome to another impactful and amazing episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. My name is Devon Travell, creator of the Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, it is my honor, it is my privilege, it is my blessing in life to also have the beautiful, the amazing, the dancing queen, young and teen only. She's way older than 17 though. Not way older, but she's older than 17. It's legal, don't trip. And I put a ring on it. But introduce yourself, queen.
What is up, party people?
Oh, here we go again.
My name is Sinclair, aka the
Health Nerd.
And we're here to bring you some good vibes, some really visionary talk.
Ooh, talk that. So, again, we're coming into a new kind of format of the podcast. Hope y'all are appreciating it. Hope y'all are enjoying it. Please make sure you reach out and let us know what the energy is feeling like. But before we get into the visionary stuff and the importance of having a vision, how are you doing, Queen? Let's do some check-ins. Like, there's some violent stuff, interesting stuff happening right now, and definitely want to do a check-in with you and check in with the rest of the folks listening. And just how you feeling?
I am worried.
Okay.
So we kind of had a conversation yesterday about what similar to basically a check-in, and I think that I'm worried for the response that people are going to take as a reaction to all of these things happening.
Right.
So not only do we have COVID-19 happening, where people have been boxed in for months, not being able to do things, express, interact with other people, but now we have the police brutality yet again popping up with multiple individuals, and I'm a little bit worried. I'm more than a little bit. I'm worried that people are not in the mindset to handle this type of situation right now.
Right now, because they're already in stress, their mental health is already unstable, so then you add in all these other additional stresses, and now things begin to compound on each other, and there has to be a release.
Yes.
There has to be some type of release, whether we're hoping it's going to be a healthy release, but there's also the unhealthy release as well. So yeah, it's definitely worrying times. True Health Forever, we are holistic, so we do want to make sure we're still talking about these type of issues, social justice issues that affect mental health and disproportionately people of color, because it is affecting our health, and it's important to talk about it because it's a release for us as creators, as melanated folks ourselves. And yeah, hoping y'all are doing okay out there, hoping this message finds you safe, and hope you're doing. Yes, Queen. She gave me that look. She give me that hand on the shoulder.
How are you doing?
I am good today. I think yesterday and the day before that, my energies were just low.
Yeah.
Like, one, I had a bunch of Zoom meetings, a bunch of Zoom calls, so that digital fatigue was hitting me. But then, in addition to working, I also had the feed of social media, seeing all the threads, getting the text messages, and I try to remove myself from news because it was already kind of causing me anxiety and being unhealthy for me. So I've been not watching news for a while now. So to get the onslaught of a whole bunch of news clips and articles and people saying, watch this video, see what's going on, that definitely impacted my frequencies. But today has been a much better day. Tried to sidestep and avoid the stuff, even though I saw that the dude that killed George Floyd got manslaughter and third-degree murder, so he's gonna get 7 years maybe in jail. So that was interesting and disheartening, but nonetheless, today has been a holistically good, positive day. Play Black Wall Street Academy starts this weekend. You've been selling intermittent fasting plans to help folks lose weight during this time, so there's definitely still positive things that we're receiving and positive things that we are giving as well. That's good. Okay, so we're gonna switch it up. Alright, so definitely important to talk about that, but the main point of this podcast episode is to talk about your vision for the future. If you're looking around today and you're not liking what you're seeing, or if you're wanting to just improve upon what you're seeing today, maybe it's cool, maybe it's alright for you, but you're like, man, there's a bigger vision for my future, there's a bigger vision for me and my queen, me and my king, whoever you're rocking with, just your friends and your peers. So we want to talk about just the importance of having your own personal vision, and then we also want to dive a little bit into the vision of True Health Forever, because there's not a lot of we haven't done too many recordings about like what we're really trying to do, what we're really trying to build. We've had a few live seminars that talk about it, but I think something like on a podcast, something that we can listen to back, tomorrow, years from now, we can watch years from now, I think will be motivation not only for us, but hopefully for other folks out there to have big and audacious dreams.
Yep. And I don't know why we haven't talked about this. You would have thought that we would have already. But I think, like you said, there's been multiple different events or live streams or whatever where we have talked about it. So I feel like it feels like we talk about it often, but probably not to the main audience.
Right, the main folks, our YouTube folks, our Spotify podcast folks, our IG family, like that information hasn't been in a succinct spot. I think also 2 years ago when we were living in PH, we did like the 2020 goals and kind of vision, but we did them independently because that was pre-marriage.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool to now come back. We're a kingdom now, unified, tied the knot. So now to come back and do another semi-vision statement or vision video as a unified front, True Health Forever, declare. I think it's cool.
Yep.
All right. So True Health Forever. Do you want to talk about how we first started True Health Forever?
Sure.
You did a slight pause. Are you sure? Do you want to go a different direction? We can go a different direction.
I was just gonna ask, do you want to talk about True Health Forever first, or do you want to talk about the importance of a vision in general first?
Oh, okay. You smart. Man. Okay, yeah. Stroke that beard. I see you. She has no beard, y'all. I just want to point that out there.
I just like to do that.
There you go. Okay. That's all good. We're married. It's good. So, the importance of a vision. So, again, you want to be able to like manifest what you really want. I know sometimes that's a theoretical word. Like, what does that even mean? And hopefully I'm not going to talk a whole bunch of theory in here. I'll do something that's also applicable and that I've seen in real life. But you can only expect from the universe, expect from other people, expect from yourself the energy that you're also putting out into the universe.
Right.
So if you're never expecting to make, X amount of dollars, if you're never expecting to meet the love of your life, if you're never expecting your podcast to take off or you to start a fashion brand, like if you're not expecting those things and putting that energy into the world, then your actions are going to be the same.
Right.
So, perfect example. Vision, you feel me? It's all about vision, confidence, you heard me, manifest. So when I first met this young lady, even before I met her, I just looked at her and I was like, ooh, yeah, I feel the vibes. I feel the frequencies. I can see the vision for our future. Literally saw the vision. I told my friends, I was like, yep, that's the one right there. None of y'all, no, y'all cannot talk to her. That's mine.
I'm gonna talk to someone to see, what was that conversation like?
You could talk to Jacob, talk to Daniel, they got it, vouch for me. But so that was it, and there was definitely some barriers along the way. It was a long road till the marriage. Like we met in 2011, didn't get married in 2019, which isn't a huge gap. Some people have a larger gap, but there was definitely some in betweens in there. So the fact that I always had that vision, always knew this was my end goal, my actions were acting accordingly. And then, 8 years later, pow! Got it. Right there. Another example, and then Queen, if you want to give an example, do your thing. I try to give you enough buffer time to freestyle. I got you. So another example is, oh my gosh, do you remember Talking in TJ videos?
Oh Lord, yes.
So, Talking in TJ videos. I used to do those in 2016, 2017. every day right after work, I would go into my car and then just do a reflection video. Ask myself a question, and these were terrible, atrocious videos.
Are they still on YouTube?
They're still on YouTube. I'm not ashamed. Talking to TJ, go to TH4 TV or search True Out Forever. That playlist pop up. But they're terrible quality in the sense that they were usually at night, so you can barely see me because I'm melanated and dark, beautiful. Mwah. Thank you. Oh, appreciate that. The let's see, the audio quality was meh. I was rambling a lot, as I tend to do on this podcast as well. So it was a very meh type of stuff. But I rewatched a video the other day, and I was talking about investing in real estate. I was talking about being an entrepreneur. I was talking about, being married one day. And then this was 3 years ago. So to watch myself saying that and then to know what I have achieved now, it's like, that young brother right there had vision. Mm-hmm. That young brother had vision. And I am a direct result of my past visions. Mm-hmm. Which is right. That's pretty dope. Mm-hmm. The fact that you today are a direct result of your past visions from yesterday and yesteryears. So it's crucial. If you want to be something different, you want to grow a bit bigger, you want to be able to help more people, whatever it is, you need to start that seed today. Right. Start watering it, start putting your dirt onto it, your soil. I'm terrible at growing plants, so I have no idea what goes into it. I'm just assuming you need water and dirt. But, if you put those things onto it, years from now, you will be able to look back and really thank the past self for your vision, your efforts. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that was some nuggets in there for y'all to, pick up and drop, all that good stuff.
And I know you did a video on Instagram, but you talked about the check earlier.
Oh, yes. So, manifest. I'm telling you, I've leaned into manifestation
so much.
Fully. And things just happen. They just happen. And it's like, how did this happen? All right, so I'm not going to give y'all money numbers, even though that might make this even more real for you. But this morning, I was listening to the Secret to Success podcast, which we went to their 1% Club. Shout out to E.T., Carl, CJ, Jamal King, Tiff, all the whole squad. So we were listening to that podcast this morning, and E.T. was going in on how, I was doing a sermon and I was saying that everyone in here is going to receive a check in the mail. And I was listening to the podcast, but I was like, I'm there. He was like, everyone here is going to receive a check in the mail. Money and blessings are coming your way. And I was like, Queen, E.T. says, I'm going to get a check in the mail. E.T. says there's going to be money in the mailbox. So I go downstairs and I'm singing on the way down, money in the mailbox. Hey, I got money in the mailbox. Hey. So I'm singing all the way down. I open the mailbox. I take a quick glimpse, but then I go upstairs, I put the mail down, wait for the queen to come out, and then I start opening stuff. And at first I'm like, oh man, there's nothing. It's just bills.
So this is a bill. I was like, that's the opposite of what
I was like, come on, E.T., what happened, bro? What happened? But then I open what I think is a bill, and there's a check right there with my name on it. I'm just like, hey, I got money in the mailbox. Yeah, I got money in the mailbox. So, again, was that check always there? Possibly. But the fact that on the way down, I was the whole time manifesting and thinking and hoping and visioning, literally visioning the check in the mail the entire time down there. And it was a check that I was not expecting in the slightest. And boom, I just got a little bit of money, a little bit of something.
The ironic thing is that you were expecting a check,
right?
But that's not the one you got.
It's not the check. I was expecting a check, which is still late. I need my money whenever y'all get around to it. I ain't gonna say what your name is. Hello. But yeah, the fact that I was expecting one check, which should still be coming, and I got a different check, it was like, wow, that's dope. The power of manifestation. So E.T., every time you have a podcast episode, my brother, my king, if you can just keep on saying that I got a check coming, I would appreciate that so I can continue to manifest. All right, thank you.
All right.
What you got, Queen? Hit us with it.
I think for me, the most recent example would be the intermittent fasting plan. As I created this 3 years ago. I know he gets frustrated every time. Yeah. So I actually created this plan 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Put a lot of work into it. It took forever. But I created the plan based off of what I was doing to be successful to lose weight. I did exercise videos. We went and shot them at the beach. We shot them outside.
It was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing. So formatting the calendar, getting the links into the calendar. So it was a whole thing. And so I promoted it a little bit, and then I finally launched it. I was like, oh, it's available, and I sold 2. Honestly, I was juiced because I'm like, as soon as I sold my first one, I was like, I'm an entrepreneur.
I made it, mama.
And then I sold another one, and I was like, hey, and then that was it. And I got a little bit of the imposter syndrome, and I was like, oh, only 2 people wanted this. Like, it must not be a good plan. So I'm gonna take it off. I actually asked him, I was like, take it off the website, because it's not doing anything up there.
Right.
And then fast forward 3 years, here we are in this situation where we have to be home for months at a time. And I was thinking, and I'm like, even just for myself, I was like, we should start fasting again. Like, and we were kind of already started to do that naturally. Like, we should start fasting again. So we started fasting, and I was like, I created a plan for this. I'm like, I was really thinking, like, man, I want to go buy like a workout program or something like that because I need something to do at home. And then I was like,
rewind. You were thinking about doing what?
I was thinking about buying a workout plan that I could do at home. And then I remembered I created one.
Come on.
So I went into the files, brought it up, made some revamps, because, I feel like the fact that I did feel not confident in it before did say something. So I was like, okay, let's revamp it a little bit. Let's, update the formatting, update the fonts, whatever, so that you feel comfortable putting it out to the world. So then I thought this was the perfect time to put this out into the world because people are home, they can't go to the gym, they need home workouts that they can do, and I made a whole plan that you can do at home. For this moment.
She was prepared.
And I didn't know, and that's the crazy manifestation part of it. It's like I did not know that this moment was coming, but when it came, I was like, oh, opportunity. This is when we need to release the plan. So I thought, well, let's release the plan at the same time as we were listening to podcasts, and then also, I know, it was a health coaching little email thread that I was on, and they were talking about your email list is your business is your email list, and that's something we've relived too, just with the Play Black Wall Street. You get
with
people
failures.
Yes, with failures, absolutely.
We failed and had to learn. We need to get more emails.
Yes. So. Yeah, they said your business is your email. So we're like, okay, well, how can we use this opportunity to build our email list? And the king, the business mogul over here, decided, why don't we offer them for free? You won't be getting profit, but you will be building your email list so that all of these other products that may come afterwards, you now have an audience for that. And I was like, it's a great idea. That's what we did. I kind of remarketed the blog that I wrote before about intermittent fasting. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff I had to do. All of this stuff was already created, which was perfect. Because I probably wouldn't have been finished with it until now if I had to start at the beginning of quarantine. Because I'm just that detailed and perfectionist.
That is your superpower.
Yes.
It is your superpower, being analytical, but at times it can slow my queen down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it can, absolutely. And I recognize that. And that's why it's good to have another person that is the opposite. He's a go and think later type of person, so we balance each other out. But kind of the point I want to drive here is that we came up with the plan, we launched the plan. When I tell y'all the goal that I set,
was how much?
10.
Okay, and you sold.
I won't. Hold on. I want to dig into that deeper.
Oh, please do.
I wanted to have 10 people download my plan, and that's just because I was still tainted from the 2 people that had downloaded it before. And at this point, we are probably at 110 downloads, and
popping.
And so imagine
from all over the nation.
Yes.
Like it's not just people that are homies and know. It's like literally people from all over, from Florida, Kansas. Like we don't even know them purchasing or downloading the free plan.
Yeah. So that's just been a really cool feeling, and I think that it just shows that whatever you manifest will happen if you put the actions behind it. It may not be when you want it, it may not be in the way that you want it, but it will happen. But 2, don't sell yourself short. Like manifest to the fullest. Like what do you actually want to happen? And then your actions will match that. So I only imagine if I had said 500 downloads, like how many I would have gotten, because my actions would have matched that. But I'm still just blessed that I got 100 people, over 100 people to download that. When again before I was in like an imposter mode because only 2 had got it before. So it's one, make sure you seize the opportunities that come and have strategy. But yeah, I mean, it's that saying that like, what is the opportunities, luck, and what's the...
When opportunity meets perfect timing and hard
preparation,
work.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like
you know the saying.
Yeah.
Proper preparation
and whatever that saying is. I feel like I'm living it right now. That like the fact that again I already had this created, and just kind of analyzing the situation we're in right now and decided this is the perfect time for this product. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy the way things manifest.
Yep. So I got 2 more lessons in that story. There's going to be a lot of nuggets in this one. Hopefully y'all appreciate this episode. Tell a friend about the podcast. So one extra lesson is it's not always about making money up front.
Right.
And I think some people get really focused on, I need money right now, or I want to make money right now, or that's your measure of value and success. But if you get 104, 110 emails that you just gave away for free, and if you know recipe books are coming, smoothie books are coming, like if you know you have so much more value to offer, giving that first hook, giving that first magnet can explode your wealth and explode your audience way past if you would have sold it for $10, $15, $20 to begin with. So, try to figure out how can you use your superpower, and we kind of learned this in the 1% conference as well. How can you use your superpower to start giving away free value to people as soon as possible? That's also kind of like your personal MVP, your personal minimum viable product. So with what you have right now, your talent, your skills, your technology, what is it that you can create to give people value for free? And then after you now have them in your audience, after they rocking with you, okay, the health nurse, she kind of cool. She got these videos. She got this fasting plan. She married to a dude with a beard. I can rock with her. Now they're able to support you fully when things do cost money.
Right.
Secondly, there's an experiment done on crickets, I believe, where they're in a glass mason jar and the cover's on it. And they're jumping. And because there's a cover, they can't get out of the jar. Once you remove the cover, those same crickets still cannot jump out of the container. Because they're trained before, I can't leave this container. I can't leave this container. I'm jumping. I can't jump any higher than this. When in actuality, they could jump out of there. They could jump off 3 containers, but because they were trained mentally and their muscles were trained, they no longer can jump out of the container. And we're the same way, and that's why we want you to never sell your vision short, because your vision is training your mind, training your habits, training your actions to figure out what your full potential is.
Another example of that.
Hit it.
As I heard on another podcast, it had to do with elephants. I don't know if you heard that one too. That like how they kind of train elephants. And these are, I don't know, like elephants in camps or whatever, or circus, I don't know what. Okay. But is that when they're young, they put them on a rope or whatever that they can't break. So obviously you can't just have they can't be running loose. So right. When they're tied to a pole or whatever, when they do that when they're young, so that they'll try, but they can't actually break that rope. They can't actually get free. So that when they grow up, they don't even try.
Goodness.
They don't even try.
Wow.
If they actually tried, they could easily run away. Right, it's an elephant. But they can easily run free. They can easily break free, but because they've been trained as a baby that I cannot, they don't even try.
Wow. So honestly, this stuff is all coming naturally, and I hope we're not too long on this podcast because I got a meeting right after this. But this is really good stuff. That triggered in my head post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Indeed.
So, you can look at that rope as the physical chains that were on some of our ancestors, the whippings that we received if we tried to break free, like all those kind of punishments and mental and physical lynchings that our ancestors went through and was passed on to our kids, passed on to our grandkids. Like, I feel like some of us are still living with that rope on us. Like we
Right.
don't think we can achieve that because this might happen.
Right.
Even looking at what happened to Tulsa Black Wall Street, the fact that it was so successful, it was so vibrant, it had so much wealth, and then it was bombed. It's triggering for a lot of black folks. Like, oh, don't get wealth, don't get money because it's going to be taken away from you or your life's going to be taken away. So that's deep. That was a good example.
And even like when I feel like the fact that after you wrote Black Future Month, your dad read it, and one of the first things he said was be careful, right?
Yeah.
And so I think even things like that, like when you kind of speak up and start to have a voice, then you start to hear people start to say like, be careful, you sure you should be saying that, be careful. And it makes sense that they're just looking out for you, but at the same time it's a little bit of that fear, it's a little bit of that
be quiet,
right.
Be quiet.
We know what happens when we try.
Right.
So don't